Welcome to Conversations with Melissa, part of RenaFi's Experts and Influencer series. RenaFi provides practical, research-based advice, courses, and peer support, and focuses on the underlying drivers of our ADHD behavior. Through courses like budgeting for the ADHDer, home organizing for the ADHD lifestyle, and of course, our ADHD book club, to name just a few, we provide a holistic program that serves to help you thrive with ADHD, not in spite of it. Follow our YouTube channel for ADHD resources and information, and visit us at renafi.com to learn what we have to offer. Thank you so much to our guests here, Dr. Bill Dodson and Beth Bardeen. So today we're going to do RSD from two perspectives. We have Dr. William Dodson, the clinician, what RSD looks like from the outside in. Dr. Dodson is a board-certified adult psychiatrist who does not have ADHD. He has worked with his adult ADHD patients for the last 25 years to understand and document rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Dr. Dodson has been on the forefront of diagnostic and treatment reform for ADHD and rejection sensitivity dysphoria. He is now retired from clinical practice and resides in Colorado. Beth Bardeen, the RSD survivor, what RSD feels like from the inside out. Beth is an adult diagnosed with ADHD after a 30-year career in the Seattle tech industry, specializing in marketing and organizational behavior. Now Beth researches rejection sensitivity dysphoria and is an advocate for the newly diagnosed, with a focus on explaining the internal experience of RSD. She lives in Seattle and is the founder of the Seattle chapter of CHADD. All right, thank you both for being here. And
Melissa, thank you.
I'm just going to step out of the way. I'm going to take the focus off me and let you have at it and interrupt you every so often.
Sure. And thank you, Rick and RenaFi too. This is, we love this opportunity, really appreciate it.
We have a couple of complex questions, so I'll ask them. Let's see how it goes. In what context was the "it takes 2 hours to fall asleep because of an active mind" mentioned? So looking for context. And then this person was considering taking a non-stimulant medication at night because of that issue, like Stelara. Could guanfacine help with that, with the sleep issue?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, how many people do we have on here? 40, something like that. If we ask the 40 people who are on this,
65.
oh, great. I need to get my glasses checked. Anyway, if we ask them, tell me about your sleep. What is it like for you to fall asleep at night? What you get from 75% of them is, Doc, I'm a night owl. When the sun goes down and it gets fully dark and everybody else is getting quiet and ready to go to bed, I get a burst of energy. And it's the best time of the whole day. You see nods up. And it's the best time of the whole day. My mood's best, my energy's best. And I know that if I got into bed and at 11 o'clock like everybody else, I'm not going to be able to shut my brain and body off to go to sleep at night. I toss, I turn, fidget, and it usually takes me about 2 hours. I then continue to toss and turn, wake up, and that goes on till 4 in the morning, at which time I go into the sleep of the dead. I can't wake up in the morning. I've just described a sleep disturbance called chronic delayed sleep phase syndrome. Good. Well, the first 2 years of medical school, nothing more than learning to say these very complex names. And basically what it means is for about 75–80% of people with ADHD, their brains and bodies want to sleep a nice normal 8-hour sleep phase. They just want to do it from 4 a.m. till noon. If you got in bed at 4,
sorry, yes,
you'd be out like a light. If you slept till noon, you'd wake up refreshed and ready to go. So this is also the sleep disturbance of ADHD. It's just not found other places. There's people with ADHD. So what I ask people to do is once they've really fine-tuned their stimulant medication, I ask them to lie down in the afternoon while they're still on the medication and try and take a nap. Now, most people with ADHD have never napped in their lives. But again, remember that paradoxical response that we talked about earlier? It gets people's brains and bodies to come down and make a nice soft landing. And by adjusting the dose, you can decide where that landing is. If they nap on the medication, it will allow them to sleep normally at night. There's an axiom in medicine that says it is always better to treat the cause of a symptom rather than suppress the symptom. So rather than have people drink a bottle of wine, roll a bowl of dough, take 2 or 3 sleeping pills or something like that, treat the cause of your insomnia. Now, it may take both a stimulant and an alpha agonist, but you will sleep normally because you're treating hyperactivity of ADHD, which is what's keeping you awake.
Wow,
That
was kind of profound.
deep.
Well, my husband's the one who got diagnosed first. We went to a conference. Someone talked about ruminating and not being able to sleep. And that's how, oh, maybe I have it too, honey. So when you said that, I was like, oh, yes, you know me.
No, I forgot the waking up in the morning is such a common problem. There's even a formulation out there that's designed where you take it at night and it gets absorbed at 6 or 7 in the morning, and you wake up on a full dose of medication, and you don't have the infusion into your brain waves of what are called theta waves. In the morning, people are not falling back asleep. Those would be delta waves, which are 6 per second little flutter. There's theta waves, which are big, fat, long waves. And the treatment of choice is to give a light dose of the stimulant. The medication's name is Jornay, Jornay. So it's a big enough deal that there's a separate medication for it.
Wow. We have a lot of other questions. Would having an anxiety disorder and taking FoQuest be advisable? Yes or no?
I'm unfamiliar with FoQuest. Do you have a generic name for me?
I'm gonna go look it up and then I'll find out what that is.
The simple answer is that everybody expects stimulants to make anxiety disorder worse. There's a very nice review article of the 26 studies, all in children, in which they all had anxiety disorder when the stimulant was started for their ADHD, and not a single child had their anxiety get worse.
Wow.
Remember that paradoxical reaction, folks? These medications the fact that they're stimulants is just a dumb coincidence. That is not how they act. They're not how they work.
Mm.
For people with ADHD. You give them to somebody who doesn't have ADHD, and it's like having 2 double espressos.
Yes.
And that's all. And that's all.
Okay, FoQuest is a long-acting form of methylphenidate.
That's new to me.
I was looking at the conference, and they're studying methylphenidate up one side and down the other, so it must be kind of new.
Well,
So a lot of people.
There are 47 different delivery systems for stimulants available on the market. I'd never heard of that one. So if you're on FoQuest and you add a stimulant to it, you're going to get an overdose of stimulant. You're going to get side effects. Probably if it's an adult, you're going to get what's called the Starbucks syndrome. Imagine what anybody would look like if they rolled out of Starbucks after 4 or 5 double espressos. Heart pounding, and from a headache, that's what they're going to look like. So
So when I looked a little further, it sounded like it's related to Ritalin.
yeah, that's what Ritalin is methylphenidate.
Peachy.
Um, there are at least 20 different products out there
So
that are nothing more than ways of delivering methylphenidate.
that's not a thing for an anxiety disorder. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
No, it's not a treatment of anxiety, but it's also not going to make it worse.
Wow, there are a lot of things over here. Thank you for helping me. Thank you. Somebody answered. The person with the question around FoQuest answered it. Generic Vyvanse was just announced. I was hoping it wouldn't make me tired. But what you just explained sounds like if we're taking a stimulant for our ADHD, it's not going to behave like a stimulant for ADHD brains.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if it's making you sleepy, the dose is too high. Lower the dose. More is never better.
Well, welcome to the less is more universe. All right. Diagnosed with an ADHD as an adult, and then a year later diagnosed with autism also. Will the medication be the same?
Yeah. The same. Just with people, if people have really reasonable bad severe autism that is diagnosed in childhood, you have to be very, very careful about how you raise the dose. Do it very gradually, be very patient. Take a year to raise the dose and stuff like that. Somebody who's making it into their adult life and nobody's mentioned the word autism does not have severe autism. So it's not going to be a problem.
There's a commentary. I don't think we can answer it, but I'm going to read it. Is there anyone doing anything to get guanfacine added to Medicare's accepted list for ADHD? They acknowledge clonidine, but not guanfacine for seniors. We are being ignored, not represented by ADHD organizations.
So what is new?
Yeah.
Again, the decisions that are made at Centers for Medicare and Medicaid are made on the basis of money. Period. End. Stop. Money. So again, that's not what Chad and Ada and stuff like that, organizations like that, really see as their mission. Mark, my Association of Retired Persons, they have some sway with Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, but our ADHD organizations don't have any.